Howdy on Willux Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Oh man, it's been a while. um, I am out of fuel and it's getting nighttime. That's not a good combo. It's not a good combo at all. I don't have any fuel on me, right? Yep, no fuel. No fuel at all. Hey, burnt zombie. How's it going? I hear ya. I hear you coming in. Oh, there's some fuel. That'll get me 2 feet. Should have brought my bicycle. I don't know if there's I don't know if there's any place to get gas here in Burnt Land very easily. Well, I did find a little bit in that other car. I feel like the burned zombies are a little more powerful than they used to be. I just remember them guys being super weak. Now there's a little bit more fuel. We might be okay. Listen, buddy, I'm just looking for gas. Okay. Oh. Stealthy zombie. Yeah, I had, harvesting tools. Steel tools. Ooh. Just barely got to iron tools. Had the worst cold for the last week or so. Well, it wasn't a cold, it was the flu. Diagnosed. Well, okay, I didn't get diagnosed, but other people went to the doctor and were told it was the flu, so. I didn't even read what that was. I think it was something about locks. So yeah, it's been a couple weeks since I managed to get on here. I'd forgotten where I'd left off. Okay, I'm gonna put down a bedroll. I was expecting it to show up and it didn't. But we'll see. We got it done now. I'm sure being in this town at night is gonna play out real well. Oh, no gas. Okay. I've never used a club. Downed opponents suffer 50% more damage from power attacks, so that's good. Good skill. Zooming. Oh, zooming uses less stamina. Okay. I'm like, zooming? You mean like running? No. More medical supplies and loot. Just gonna drop this guy now. Nice. Shotgun crafting, something else I don't use. 267. Okay, I'm gonna see. Well, first off, I guess. Oh, I'm actually not that far from home. Crazy. I keep hitting escape to bring up my map. I've been playing a lot of Farm Simulator. And escape brings up the map in that, so. I might be able to make it home before it gets too dark here. A concussion? I got concussion from riding on the mini bike? What the heck? It's one of those checkpoints. Oh, it's a way station. I think it's on here. I saw the military checkpoint. Was that on here? On this map? Maybe. I don't know. This is the Navezgane map, so this is the hand-constructed one. Usually I play on the procedurally generated ones. But I do like to check out what they've done with this map every once in a while because it changes. I hear you, buddy. And nighttime. What is this place? It's not the map. Oh, it's the hardware. Okay. I thought it looked like the hardware, but I didn't see any signs. I guess they're around the corner here. It looked like the little greenhouse section there. I know, I'm infected. I have no antibiotics. You're just gonna have to kill me, okay? Just want to try and get my stuff back to my base. Which it easily did. I guess it didn't take that much fuel. Man, I was trying to think what I've done over the past couple weeks. I can't think anything. You know, me and the nephew have been watching Frieren, which is an anime that everybody says is like the best anime ever. It was so boring. I don't understand. I don't get it. I didn't enjoy it. Oh, dude, I've got fuel. Why didn't I just take fuel, put it in my bike? Okay, here. You can take... I saw I've got a bunch of these. You can take those. You can have this. And you can have... probably most of this. Yeah, it's a. I don't know, man. Spoilers. I don't understand why. I just don't understand why. It's like when it first came out, I just kept seeing all these things like Frieren saves the genre, and this is like one of the best animes ever, and this is why anime exists, and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, all right. And so I watched an episode, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like this. Um, and then it's got like 28 episodes, and so we were talking about anime, and he's like, we should watch it. I'm like, fine. I probably should watch it so I have a actual informed opinion. Do I have? Well, I've got liquid in here. I don't know that I've got. What goes into Hopu stew? Corn, potatoes, fat, rotting flesh. Okay, how about we go meat stew? Hopu stew. Did that used to have rotting flesh in it? Oh, I don't have a lot of ears of corn either. Or potatoes. Or animal fat for that matter. What was it? It was meat, corn, potatoes, and uh meat, corn, potatoes, fat. Oh, and probably water. Okay. Don't worry, I just got confused as to where I was at there for a second. No? Am I missing something else? Oh. Cool. Well, this is not that expensive. They let me make 3 of them. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's like I like fantasy stuff, right? Like Lord of the Rings kind of stuff. And so it's in that genre, I guess. But imagine you sat down to watch Lord of the Rings and the big event was over. And you only get to watch Lord of the Rings after they got rid of the ring. And it's just mostly people sitting around talking about how they've gotten old. It was like that. It was like that. What was it called? The Irishman. Where it was like Robert De Niro plays a an old assassin guy who's reminiscing back on his life of things he's done. It's kind of like that, but with less. Um, oh, you know what? I have these already on my hot bar, but with less. This might need to go down here. You gonna get this food cooked, or what's going on here? I don't even see it listed as cooking. Shouldn't it be over here? I'm sorry, did I not click craft? I got meat, potatoes, corn, fat, water. I thought it was weird I still have water in my inventory. Meat stew. Make 3 of them. Cook. I thought I hit that before. Okay. Oh, growing. 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 Nothing planted. Got a couple of waters here. So basically it's like it literally starts off with them going, well, we've defeated the Demon King, and then yeah, we should take a break, and then we'll get back together later. And they're like, yeah, we'll get back together later, and then like 50 years go by. I don't know if it was 50 years, but all these years go by, and can I make? Can't make fuel in here. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna die before it makes me food. I need to make fuel gas. Gas is not one of the things listed here. So I need to stop hitting escape. I need the chemistry station, which I cannot make yet because I need a workstation level of 50. Okay. Okay. I know I'm starving and dying and all that stuff. I don't know what to tell you, man. I've got vitamins. I got Grandpa's learning elixir. Got some recog. I haven't found anything useful for where it comes to getting rid of the disease here. So yeah, they go their separate ways, and then one of them dies. So what it is, there's a human, there's 2 humans, a dwarf, and an elf are on a, fantasy team together, like D&D or something. And so they won the game. They beat the Demon Lord, and so they go their separate ways, and then the human fighter dies. So they get back together for his funeral, and then they're like, the elf is like, I can't believe you all have gone so old, because she doesn't age at all. She's over 1,000 years old, and so and that's Frieren. Frieren's over 1,000 years old, and so they're like, oh, guess we'll never see each other again. And then she gets a note from the human priest, and so she goes to see him, and he wants to know if she likes to collect spells. He wants to know if she's found a spell to extend life or make you immortal or whatever. And so he shows her some of the stuff that he's found, and I can't believe one of these, I was gonna say, well, these got to be made soon here. There you go. And she's like, yeah, it'll take me like 20 years to figure this out. And he's like, oh, well, I don't have 20 years. And he's like, I do, however, have this apprentice. She does magic. I don't do magic. I need you to train her. She's like, I don't wanna. He's like, do it for me. And so she's like, oh, well, you tricked me into it. And then it time jumps. And so now it's like 6 years later. And so she's trained the apprentice, and and so then they're just retracing the steps that her and the demon lord slayer party did for some reason. They don't explain why. But they come across the spot and there's like this demon there, and she's like every 50 years he comes back and someone has to, put him back in his prison, and so let's do it. And so it takes them like 2 minutes. It's not even there's no build up. There's no huge fights. There's nothing. It's just wandering around, going places they've already been, reminiscing about what they've done. It's like 28 episodes. I think there's like 4 different episodes about birthday parties. There's at least 5 or 6 episodes where all they talk about is how people want people to remember them, which I guess is what the anime is about. But you know what it's not about? Interesting things. It's literally like, oh look, here's the statue to Himmel, the human fighter who saved us from the monsters, but nobody takes care of it anymore because it's been over 50 years, and his statue is dirty. And we know he liked this type of flowers, and we'd like to put the flowers there, but we can't find the flowers. And so then Frieren and her apprentice wander the forest until they find the flower they're looking for. And then Frieren uses a spell that allows her to make a field of those flowers around the statue. Okay. She does that like 3 times. I'll bet that happens 3 times. 3 different episodes are about cleaning up around statues of Himmel. I'm just like, do they just not have any ideas in this anime? They just keep repeating themselves over. We had to see like 2 or 3 birthdays for the apprentice. There was a birthday for, they pick up this other guy who's like the apprentice to the dwarf. And there's an episode about his birthday. There's an episode about Frieren's birthday. I'm just like, how many birthday episodes do I need in one 28 episode anime? And then, like, I don't know, they get to the end, and I don't even understand what is going on in the show. I'll admit it, we're watching it in the afternoon while I'm working, so sometimes I might miss something. But they got to this spot, and they're like, we can't go north anymore. Now it's been 50 years. So in the 50 years, they have now sealed off people being able to go north of this city for some reason, unless you have a first-class mage with you. Now, Frieren is the mage who destroyed the Demon Lord, right? She's in that party. They know who she is. It's not a secret. But they're like, oh, well, you can't go north without a first-class mage. And Frieren has never been ranked. All she has, and she keeps bringing it out, she brings it out at least 3 or 4 times, this necklace that's ancient that some people recognize, but no one says what it's about, and it has something to do with recognizing her as a mage, but they never tell you what it's about. 28 episodes, they never tell you what this necklace is about. And so Frieren has never been classified as a mage. And so her apprentice is, I believe, a 3rd-class mage. And so they want to get her classified as a 1st-class mage. And so that requires a test. And so they go to the test. And it's held only every 3 years. And so the end of the series, the end of the series that's out so far, is them. I didn't read what that was. Dang it. I read what the other one was, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And then the other one was a one-off thing, and I totally didn't look at it. Oh, I was hoping there'd be some fuel in there. Take advantage of that extra 50% damage for downed enemies. Honestly, I'm kind of hoping something just runs out and kills me so I don't have to worry about this virus while I look around for fuel. And so, like, they get there, and the first mage is like, okay, we're going to go in this forest, and You're going to catch a bird. That's their test. And then the second one, okay, I'm sorry. I got distracted and I missed my story. So anyways, they have to catch a bird, and so the thing with the bird is it can detect mana, and so you have to control your mana to be able to catch this bird, I guess. Okay, that guy didn't even manage to hit me. And so, you know, it was like 2 episodes of chasing this bird down, which mostly involved them sitting around looking at what the bird does. I'm like, okay. And then the second test was they have to go to the bottom floor of this unexplored dungeon. Okay. And then they say, right, this unexplored dungeon. Oh, there we go. This unexplored dungeon, they've sent many, many teams in, and many people have died trying to explore the dungeon. I'm like, okay. So it's not technically unexplored. Got it. And then they have all the information about the final boss of the dungeon. All the information. They know its name. They know what it does. They know how it operates. I'm like, if you know the information on the boss at the bottom of a dungeon, then, oh no. I forgot to switch bedrolls. Dang it. I'm so far from home. So, so yeah, they go in, and I think that was probably the most exciting fight of the whole thing, was them fighting the boss at the bottom of the dungeon. And it was at the end of the series, and they didn't really have any fights leading up to that. I think there was one spot in the middle where the 2 apprentices fought some demons that was mildly exciting, but for the most part, it's just people sit around and reminiscing. Okay, so what I got distracted from was they need a first class mage to go north, right? But then they said you could hire a first class mage, or you could take a boat. So you don't actually need a first class mage. I don't know what the deal was there. I missed why they had to have a first class mage for this. They just said it. We need a first class mage, or we can hire one. I guess the city won't let you go out the north gate, but you could hire a boat to take you without a mage. So why does the city care if you have a first class mage or not? I don't know. And so I just thought that was stupid. And then, okay, so in the middle of the series is this spot where they talk a lot about Frieren going to fight the Demon Lord with her group, and how much she hates demons, and how all she's done is practice how to kill demons, right? And so they come into this city in the middle of the series, or in the middle of what's out. I don't know if they're going to make more seasons, but the current 2 seasons that are out, somewhere in the middle of those 2 seasons, they come into this city, and there's these 2 demons standing there, and Frieren, like, looks like she's trying to attack them, and so the guards grab her and stop her, because they are ambassadors from the demon army. And so oof. So she says you can't trust demons, because demons aren't people. Demons are animals who can mimic human speech. Okay. And they only mimic human speech in a way that lulls humans into complacency. And so they put Frieren in jail for trying to attack the ambassadors. And then one of the demons goes down to kill her, so she kills the demon. And then they do the stupidest thing. Okay, now clearly the demons are having conversations, meaningful conversations. Okay, they understand the words they're saying. They understand the words that people are saying to them. It's not a mimicry thing. Um, but there's a spot where the ambassador is like, says something that tells a story about his father being killed in the war, and that's why they need to come to an end. And then one of his, after he walks away from the little speech he gives, one of his subordinates goes, "What's a father?" He's like, "I don't know. I just know that when you tell story," I'm like, "There's no way. There's no way he wouldn't understand what a father was. I don't care if demons don't have one. Clearly, he understood the concept of father enough to tell a story about having a father. Okay? That's not how that works." It's so stupid. And so there's a part in there where they can sense they can sense the mana, and so they're powerful and fast, and uh the two apprentices, they work together to take down the two demons ambassadors, while Freeran goes out, and she goes out to face off against the leader of the army. Now apparently Freeran had fought this leader of this army before, and so she goes out to face off against, I don't remember what her name is, like Asura the Guillotine or something like that. And so she gets out there, and this Asura demon, she has an army of empty empty suits of armor that are the people who attacked her. Like, she's cut off all their heads, and so all it is suits of armor. Um, and so Freeran gets attacked by like 8 suits of armor, and okay, I want to open this. I want to look at this. I want to fix my gear. Oh, why didn't this repair all the way up? Okay, well now I've used up all my repair kits, but my armor is repaired. And so like 6 or 8 suits of armor attack Freeran, and she casts a spell that makes them all fall to the ground, right? And and so she gets up to the demon. The demon stops her guys from attacking her, and she walks up and she goes, I don't remember what she says exactly, but she basically challenges Freeran to a duel because the demon is cheating. Well, not cheating, but the demon is challenging people to a duel, and when they accept the duel is, she has a set of scales, and whatever you challenge the person to, whoever wins the scales can command the other person to do something. And so then we have a whole episode flashback of Freeran being trained by this mage 1,000 years ago on how to control her mana aura. And so Freeran has a very tiny mana aura, even though she has a very large mana pool. And so the demon thinks that her mana pool is bigger than Freeran's because Freeran has a smaller aura. And so she challenges Freeran based on the size of their mana pool. And so then the scales weigh their mana pools. And of course, Freeran, the demon's like, haha, look at that. My mana pool is bigger than yours. And Freeran goes, no, I just control mine. And then she releases it, and she's like, that's not possible. And then Freeran's like, oh, well, it is. And I win. So now kill yourself. And so That was the big fight. That was the big fight in the middle. Frieren basically walked up to the demon. The demon challenged her to who has the bigger mana pool. Frieren won, and then Frieren told her to kill herself, and so she did. She pulled out her sword and cut off her own head. I'm just like, so we get no fights. All they do is show flashbacks to stuff that happened in the past, and none of it is like exciting flashbacks. There aren't like flashbacks to them fighting the demon lord or flashbacks of them completing dungeons. No, it's all flashbacks to like that time we ate steaks at this restaurant. That time that I found a flower on the edge of a cliff. That time, and I'm just like, an anime about reminiscing in a fantasy world is not my idea of what people are saying is the greatest anime. It's like at the top of all the best of anime lists. I just don't understand. It's not my thing for sure, but I don't know how it could be anybody's thing. Who wants to sit around? Apparently everybody does. I guess. Who wants to sit around and watch an anime about, do you remember that time when we were here and the guy was making the steaks and you said, hey, you should put some of this pepper on the steak, and we made pepper steaks? Ha ha ha, what good times. Like, what? You made a whole episode about that. Why did I need to watch 30 minutes of hand-drawn animation about people eating steaks at a restaurant 50 years ago? I don't get it. I don't get it. And it's literally just every character they come across is just another episode of them reminiscing about inane things they did in their past. Ooh, all right. Well, and now we're watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood because I've never seen Brotherhood. I've only seen the original Full Metal Alchemist, and so we're starting our watch through that. We've already gotten past my favorite part, so I don't know. My favorite part in Full Metal Alchemist is the Sewing Life Alchemist. Basically, there's this guy and he's conducting illegal research, and so he gets his alchemy license stripped from him. But the people in charge are super shady, and so they want him to continue his research. So they tell him if he can figure out how to create a chimera, which is why he's this Sewing Life Alchemist, because he merges creatures together. If he can make one that can understand human speech and obey commands, they'll give him his license back. And so he's like going insane trying to figure out how to make a chimera that follows what they want. And the closest he got once before was a chimera that begged for them to kill it. And so the story of the main characters in the story are this like teenage kid and his brother. And so they come across this guy and talk with him because they're researching something else, and he merges his daughter and their family pet into a single being, and then invites the military back out to see it. And so they all come out to see it, including the teenager and his brother, because they're part of the military. And so they all think that he succeeded until it turns and calls the kid big brother and asks if he wants to play some more, and then they realize what he's done. I just, you know, I enjoy a good dark storyline, and that was real good. So, yeah. All right. Well, with that, I am gonna call it a day. So, be better than small things, lean the light, and I will talk to you later.